Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Patricia and thanks for showing up. This is my Mystic in the Matrix series that I'm doing right now. And before I get started, I have to say I'm really sorry if you can hear this crazy music in the background. For the last, I don't know, week and a half, there's been some guys roofing on some businesses that are a couple streets over. And I have all my windows closed, and still, even at the back of the house, you can hear their music. Sometimes the music's okay, sometimes not exactly what I would be turning on. But again, I don't know if you're going to be able to pick up on it, like if my phone will pick up on it or not, and you'll be able to hear it. But if you do, that's not me. That's from a few streets over, and yeah, not a lot I can do about it. But anyways, it kind of goes in with my topic that I picked my spirit envelope, and the topic today is the art of pivoting. So I've had to pivot a little bit to, be able to work with what's happening out there. But yeah, let's move forward. So the art of pivoting, I thought this was going to be a really straightforward conversation to have. Pivoting, change your mind, change your direction. To me, it seems kind of straightforward. We all pivot in our lives. One thing that I do understand, being an elder, is that by the time somebody has reached an older adult lifespan, by the time you're an older adult in life, you'll have pivoted so many times. That can be your career, that can be your relationship, that can be your beliefs. There are so many things that we can pivot, so many directions that we can change. When I think about pivoting, I think about like a basketball player. You stand in one spot and you pivot. You're looking for that best direction to go. You're redirecting what you have, that energy to move forward, that ball's that energy flow. And again, that can be your career, your relationships, your belief system. So when I was a little girl, I always wanted to work with animals. Part of my life, we lived out on the farm, actually when I talked about Bigfoot. So we lived out in the country out then and there, and there was a lot of animals around me, whether it was dogs, cats, we had horses. I had a pit bull. Named Kong. And so I was that soul that just really, I felt animals. I really felt them. And so I wanted to grow up and work with animals. Now, the education system, the way that it is, and we all know how that turned out, I never really had the support, I suppose, whether it be my own beliefs or whether it be, the people around me, because going to become like a veterinarian or something is intensive schoolwork. It's a lot. I think it's harder to become a veterinarian than a doctor, actually, because you have to deal with so many different bodies, so many different personalities and everything, But anyways, it's not about that. So as a child, once I became a young adult, I actually did work with animals. I started off in pet stores. I went from being like one of the largest pet stores in North America when I was living in Toronto. And as well, I worked in a private pet store after that, which was all kinds of things from lizards, snakes, fish. Just it was super cool. There was a huge iguana named Iggy, and I that's where my love for reptiles began, was from there. Not that I have any, but I do have a real appreciation for reptiles and snakes and things like that. But anyways, so after that, I started working I worked myself up to a veterinarian hospital, and I was a receptionist. And from there, I would work with the animals and reception work and clean the animals and things like that. It was lovely. I loved it. I loved it so much. And that was in the beaches of Toronto. Then all of a sudden one day, my roommate, and living in Toronto is very expensive, let's just say that, but I don't even think I need to say that. I think everyone knows that. Living in Toronto is expensive. So there was one day my roommate took the rent money to go pay for our rent. It was a lot. It was a lot back then. We were renting part of a house, top 2 floors of a house. There was a main level as well, but we didn't get that part. Anyhow, rent money went missing, and I discovered that my roommate, who was also a beloved friend, had a cocaine addiction and took that rent money and just kind of went and, partied it up. So we lost our home, our that we were renting apartment. And so I had to make a really big decision at that time of my life. It was a huge pivoting moment for me. Pretty much threw a dart at a map and said, let's go there. So long story short, I actually did leave that job, got a backpack, was with a friend, and our first stop was California. So long story short, that turned out to be a 3-year trip, where, the United States, Central America, parts of Asia, Philippines. I lived in Switzerland for 2 of those years, and came and went from there. So during that time, I don't know why. But my belief system, my career, my calling, that feeling that I had changed. It pivoted. I didn't feel a calling to work with animals anymore after that, and I was okay with that. I became a traveler, and the world opened up from that pivoting of throwing the dart and going, okay, I need to change direction in my life somewhere. It opened up so many opportunities for me. I never ever dreamed of living in Switzerland, and I got to do it for 2.5 years. It was pretty cool, and wonderful family that I stayed and lived with. So anyhow, while I was there, different jobs I took on was street vendor. I made jewelry. I sold jewelry as a street vendor, and I also become an au pair. So I was a childcare worker, for a family, a private childcare worker. So yeah, those are decisions I made. Just life changes, redirection. You just don't know where you're going to wind up, and I think it's really, really important to be able to keep an open mind for that. So the art of pivoting is about to be fluid in your life, to be able to make the changes that need to be changed. I think that's really important. In my thought process before doing this video, there was another part of the art of pivoting that can be a really negative thing, because I believe we live in this very polarity universe, and so there's always that positive and that negative. I hold strong to that in life. And then we try to find that balance between it all, right? Sorry, where was I going? Oh yes, the negative of pivoting. There's a thing, I don't know what it's called, so I'm going to be calling it pivoting loop. A pivoting loop. So pivoting loops to me are when we are constantly changing our direction. We'll be standing there, we'll get in a position, we go, okay, I want this. And then all of a sudden something happens and we're like, nope, that didn't work out. And we turn and we go to something else completely different. We pivot, we redirect. Okay, now I'm going to try this. Didn't work out. And it's like you start going around in a circle, in a big loop. And everything you try, you stop halfway and you redirect. So repivoting. That can become part of an exhaustion of being lost, not really knowing what you want. So I get it. I've done it many times. As a writer, like when I felt like it wasn't working out for me, or it just, life became too much to juggle between being a single mom, raising kids, and trying to get that manuscript done and to be able to publish it and get it out there and blah 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 blah. There was times and sometimes I could see the disappointment in the people around me sometimes too, not just myself, but sometimes you see, oh, you're not becoming a famous writer. Well, I never really thought I would be a famous writer. I just love writing. I love the passion for it. But I would redirect myself and try different things, which didn't work because they weren't really my calling. They weren't really my passion. I was just trying to fill a space because I didn't know what to do next. So when we're trying to fill that space, we just start pivoting all over the place. We start redirecting ourselves, and then that just becomes a circle. We don't really get anywhere, and it's just a very unhealthy way to use that energy. So yeah, that's really important to know. So on the positive of pivoting, redirection. Again, you know, from talking about my childhood, when you redirect yourself, you can open yourself up to new opportunities that you never knew were there before. You know, it's not about changing your life. It's just, it can be about changing your perspective of what you're working on. And so something's not working out properly. So you can go, okay, just, you know, wait a second there. Let me rethink this. And just shift things a little bit. It opens up new opportunities of things that you didn't see before. So that's really, really important to be able to have that flexibility. The art of pivoting can strengthen your intuition. So this is a little game and it can save your life. The art of pivoting can save your life. And this goes into the art of intuition, intuitive pivoting. My dog and I practice this all the time when we go on walks. She's a very big girl. She is a guardian. She's a black peppered Great Pyrenees. The black peppered means something else got into the original mix, which was Dobie for her. So she's gorgeous. She's this great big, you know, Pyrenees. She's turning a year tomorrow. It's happy birthday to my dog tomorrow. Anyways, so yeah, she's beautiful. So when you have a big dog and you're going for walks in a neighborhood that have a lot of other dogs, I've discovered a lot of other dogs are very reactive to other dogs or other people. So I would sometimes, you know, like I can't see around the corner when we're going, you know, through the neighborhoods, and she would stop. She would just like stop. And I thought, oh, here we go. She's being stubborn. She doesn't want to go that way. But then my intuition says, hey, maybe she's hearing, smelling, or sensing something's up ahead. I cannot pick up on it. Do I feel like something's off? Well, I have a lot of anxiety anyways when I'm walking my dog because I'm always, you know, concerned of how it's going to go with other dogs. So I learned to trust her. I looked at her that moment and I said, Moo, do we need to go a different direction? Whoop, up she got, turned, and started a different direction. And we continued for our walk. That taught me a lot in that moment because I had no idea what I couldn't see, what was up ahead. But she knew. She knew. So with the art of pivoting, using your intuition, I didn't drag my girl. I did not drag her down that road going, come on, we got to go. I trusted her. I trusted her intuition. And so I had to readjust my direction of where I wanted to go. So we play this game a lot, you know, whether it's me all of a sudden going, I'm not feeling right to go around that corner. Or if she decides, I think we need to go this way. Her and I trust each other now to do that. And to be honest, there was one time where we were doing that and it was me who picked up on it. And I'm like, we need to move. And yeah, coming around the corner was this lady with her crazy dog. And we avoided a bad situation. And but I do notice a lot of people out there, like a lot of us we're all doing it. I think we're all doing it. I think we've all kind of learned, oh, you look ahead, you see, let's change direction. To keep with that flow, you know, to keep that good flow going, that positive experience and what have you. Yeah, we're still working on her, and she actually has been socialized. She was very socialized. We had an experience when she was 5 months old. We did have a dog come barreling out of someone's backyard and come at us, and I made sure, you know, being the warrior spirit and mama bear that I am, that I protected her, and there was no physical contact made, but she peed herself, you know, so it's something that she has to overcome. And so that's what we do with the art of pivoting. We make that comfortable for her, I make it comfortable for me, and so that we can have a really, really good experience from doing that. And I think that's all I've got to say about the art of pivoting today. I think I think the most important part of it is the one with the intuition, you know, change your beliefs, changes direction. It's something, just going with the flow. I think it's just another way of saying go with the flow. I hope I got that, Spirit. I hope that's what you were hoping from me for today for that one, because it did. It took me off guard. I was just like, oh, what should I talk about? It seems really straightforward, but I don't think it is always, is it? I think sometimes we put up our own blockage and we don't listen to our intuition, and sometimes we get an idea in our head. We're like, no, I'm going to make that work. I don't care what I have to do. I'm not going to change in my how I'm doing this, and that just kind of propels to I don't want to use the word failure, but yeah, kind of. Hey, when you that idea of what's insanity, doing the same thing over and over and over again, right? So by pivoting and changing direction, we can clear the way for that insanity. Anyways, I hope you're all doing very well out there. May seems to be turning into a little bit of a quieter month than April. Hopefully it's that Taurus energy getting us a little bit grounded and helping us to see things a little bit more clearly right now, and just finding something positive to move forward into. So take care. I'm excited to see what the next topic is going to be. I hope it's something that gets me really excited, because yeah, it's just really fun. Oh, and I wanted to say something actually too as well. I was looking around on YouTube, to see the Matrix, the Mystic in the Matrix, and I actually came across one. And it's a woman. I believe it's a woman. It's a woman's voice. She has an album, like very mystical music albums, and she also talks through them and stuff. Oh, it was super cool, super cool. So shout out Mystic in the Matrix, who's doing the music and creating albums. People go check her out. I think it's a wonderful thing, and love to have people doing their thing. Anyways, all right. Take care. Make sure you follow and subscribe. We'll see you later. Have a wonderful week.